What is up, everybody? I think I am live in the group. I'm not 100% sure, so give me just a moment to move the camera over, go into the group. I see myself. The question is, can I in the group hear myself? And I can. So what is up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to the Creative Crypto Show. Today's episode is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I'm going to try to tighten things up. Not just today, but going forward. We've been running about 30 minutes lately. I'd like to pare that down to somewhere in the sweet spot of about 15 to 22 minutes. I feel like 25 is too long. I feel like 20, sometimes I could possibly go over. So the 15 to 20 spot, we'll call it 22 just to be safe. So that's the sweet spot for these shows. We'll see how good I do at keeping that. That also being said, one of the things that I'm going to focus on, let me just slide my screen over so I can see if anybody decides to join us here. So one thing that I'm going to be doing also is kind of paring down, well, not, I just said I'm going to pare down the show, get a little bit more of a format going, so we can kind of talk about some specific subsets of things, because up until now, the way that these things have worked, I just, I talk about whatever's on my mind and whatever pops up or whatever we posted in the group or whatever questions you guys have asked. And so I just want to try to get a little bit of structure. And so what we're going to do going forward, this is the new show format, and I'm literally just coming up with this out on the top of my head, and it might tomorrow will, in the next days, we'll kind of bring about the finalization of this new show format. But we're going to always start with good news. That's going to be the beginning of every show. From good news, we'll go into the market report, and then from there we will talk important crypto and world news. All right, so sometimes those interlink. Very often, world news will have an important impact and effect on crypto, and that's a gap that a lot of people are missing. And so we'll do a little section, just anything that's new there in the world that will affect crypto or gold or silver, anything that has to do with the transfer of wealth. All right, the dying of the old money system and the transfer into the new money system. So that'll be the next little session. Let's see, Jessica's here, so let me bring you on. So that'll be the next thing that we actually talk about. There will be so good news, market report, and then world/crypto related news. And then we'll do like some altcoin, something about altcoins, either important altcoin news, something besides Bitcoin, right? I've got a lot of investments in other things other than Bitcoin, and so several of I've been asked this question several times, and so that's kind of what we'll talk about then. Any altcoin news that's important or relevant, or I might just talk about one of the altcoins, just kind of discuss one of the altcoins that I'm invested in and why and things like that, just to kind of give you guys kind of an inside glimpse at what I'm doing and the moves I'm making and that sort of thing. So that's going to be the new format for the show, and then obviously we can do Q&A as well. So that's the two things. Tighter show going forward. The sweet spot is 15 to 22 minutes. That's what we're looking for. Because these shows will be going on to YouTube as well. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to actually join live on the show and ask me questions directly, participate, share some good news, you can do that. We stream live into our Creative Crypto Facebook group, so just click the link in the YouTube description, join the group. There's a code word in that description. Be sure to use that code word so we know who invited you, where you came from, that type of thing. And then if you're watching this in the group, if you're watching the live stream, hit the like button, hit a comment, let us know that you're watching live, or if you're watching on the replay. And if you want to actually hop on, the link to the Zoom broadcast is directly above this if you're watching it in the Facebook group. So that's the housekeeping. So we've covered, what have we covered? New show time frame, 15 to 22 minutes. New show format starting probably tomorrow. And again, we'll finalize it, but I just walked through that. And so those are two updates before we get into the crypto talk. So let's start with some good news. Jessica, welcome to the call. Let's hear some good news. What do you got for us today?
Today is an accomplished day. At 10:22 in the morning, I've done my whole to-do list, plus created about another dozen things that I've already knocked off.
Nice. Cool. My good news is along those same lines. I got up a little bit earlier than anticipated. Beating my alarm up is always a good feeling. I can just kind of lay there for a few minutes and adjust and wake up, and it's also it's led to a productive morning. I've already been grocery shopping and hung out with my daughter and done a few calls, and yeah, it's just it's productive. So it's a good it's going to be a good day. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Share Chrome, share screen. All right, you guys should see my screen now.
Yeah, we can see it.
I lost my my view of anybody else coming on the call. Let's see if I can get that back actually. Oh, no, looks like that's gone. Okay, so let's go to coin market cap. I've already got that pulled up. All right, so let's check to see what's going on in the market. Make this a tide smaller. Okay, coinmarketcap.com. Let's check in, see where we are at. Market cap 426 billion. That is up from yesterday. Yesterday it was 411. 24-hour volume. Yesterday was 28 billion. Down a little bit today, 22 billion. The total number of cryptocurrencies on this website, 1,602. Yesterday was 1,601, so we added a new one. And then Bitcoin dominance, 36.3%, a small move down there. So yesterday was 37.1, so 36.3 today. So that is kind of the quick look. We just skim down here, look at the colors, red or green. We see a lot of green. So I like these days. Click on the change. And as we see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these coins out of the 1,602 are in the red. That means the rest of them are in the green. The biggest loser, almost for 2 days in a row, I think Bitcoin Private was the biggest loser a couple of days ago, or one of the only down. So 9.56. So not a lot of loss for the biggest loser, less than 10%. Look at the other side of the other side of the coin. The other side of the chart here, the biggest winners, 42% Loom Network. We got 22%, two of them over 20%, Mithril and Fusion, and Redcoin is right there below it. So congrats if you own any of those. Let's see. Let's go back to the list here. And so that's kind of what's going on in the market. It's a really good sign to see this new upswing. So let's actually look at it from a 1 month chart. See that for the last month we are continuing to move up. We'll go 3 months out. Yeah, so I like the 1 month. So for the last 7 days, we've been moving a little bit sideways, and that's just pullback. I talked about this a few days ago. We don't want to move like we had in November. There was 320+% increase in 1 month from in November and December when we had the all-time high of 20K. Now that was a coordinated effort and manipulation and coordinated news and dumps and buys and all of that to get the price to shoot up. Now Bitcoin's already trending up, but that was also fueled, and so that the result of that in a month time period, 320% growth. Now that's a lot. When you have a spike that high, there's going to be a pretty significant pullback. And so it's exactly what we saw: a coordinated effort, coordinated sales, and dumps from Mt. Gox trustees from different directions. The coordinated effort dumped the price back down to the $6,000 mark, and then started to that was the end of the official suppression, kind of the big power play, so to speak. And now we're just backward. We're back on the upward trajectory. I'm not saying that there's no manipulation happening. I mean, there's certain aspects of manipulation happening all the time. It's those really big gains and slams that make it evident. And so slow and steady wins the race. I've talked about this in the last few days. We don't want to see too much growth too fast. We're still on a nice trajectory up. So I like where we're at right now. You know, Bitcoin's sitting at 9,100. I would expect maybe an upward move. So yesterday was a down day. Today is a green day. If we have 2 more green days in a row at this point, that would be a really good sign, because we went up and then we had a slight pullback. So let's actually look at the last 7 days and just kind of, oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Let's go to the charts. Look at 7-day. All right, so we had this little bit of pullback right here. All right, so just a few days ago we were at 94. I believe we got to like 96 at one point, and then this slight pullback. Okay, and so now we're still moving up. And so if we're green tomorrow and green the next day, then I think we could see another a nice rise, break the $10,000 mark. Possibly even more. And so I'm happy where the market. I'm always happy where the market sits, whether it's up or down. If it's down, I'm buying. If it's up, I'm smiling. Like, I'm not doing anything but holding the stuff and trying to accumulate more anyway. That's my strategy. I'm in this for the long term, long meaning year plus. And so yeah, that's what's going on in the market. Let's look at the news. We go into the group. Let's see what I posted in here. Yesterday we got this one, and then posted a USI update for those of you that are invested in USI. This is the latest updates that you can watch, and there's a password that you'll need to actually watch that video. The password is update. So that is in there. Talked about this yesterday, this chart showing how much you would have made on a $100 investment. So that's the only news. And this news is, I mean, this is just one article of many now. I posted this within like a minute or two of the article being published. But this is just one part of that news. Ethereum's actually getting quite a tight look right now. A lot of talk, a lot of buzz about, what is that going to do? What is regulation going to look like? Is it security? Is it not? And so there's a lot of that talk going on. I'll go into this more tomorrow. I'm going to let it play out another day or two and just kind of see what results, because whenever something like this comes up, it's tough to it's tough to kind of decipher, what's the real story here, because you can go and find stories that point to, like, there's several different outcome scenarios in what's going on here, and you got stories making a case for each one of them. And so if you give it a day or two, you'll start to see the dominating theme, and then you'll be able to just kind of compare it with other stuff that's going on in the news, and really just kind of get a bigger picture of what's actually happening. What type of an impact is this going to have? If it were ruled as security. This is just like early warning. It's just talk. It's just an article at this point. But there's talk, right? It's in process. It's being discussed. And so I'll talk more about this tomorrow in the next couple of days. So not a lot of news in that regard. So if we go over here to the bond market, this is the Vanguard total bond market. We see this massive sell-off over the last several days, since the 17th of January, February, March, April. 17th of April, it's been just this massive sell-off, and then you had this brief run up, all right, from the 25th to the 30th. So this 5-day run up, okay. this, and then immediate sell-off. All right. So this is the bond market. Here's my question. So anytime you see, there's a couple, I'm going to make a bold statement and I'll unpack it a little bit. Let's see, we're at 31, so I'm not going to unpack it much because I want to keep this episode tighter. This is manipulation. Nobody's putting money in the US dollar. No, I promise you there's nobody making, this is billions of dollars of people investing in the USD, in the bond market. That's not happening. This is somebody pushing a button and putting billions of fake dollars in, buying billions of fake dollars essentially. This is all computer manipulation. Nobody's buying this. So any of these runs up that you see they're faked. I mean, look at this. Look at the history. Let's go out for the last year. This is the real trend. This is what's happening to the dollar. All right. This is the best representation of the dollar out there. The Vanguard Total Bond Market. All right. BND is the ticker symbol on TradingView. You can see this chart. This is what's really going on. This is since 2017, August of 2017, almost a year ago. Over a year, this thing has just been dumping. And so we zoom into it a little bit. You can really see, I mean, these type of massive dumps, like this is this is telling. You're going to see more of these going forward, and the more you see, the more concerned. I'm not spreading concern, so I don't want to say the more concerned you should be, but it's just the words that I've been telling you, that the dollar's dying, like it's more proof to you. Like you're going to see more dumps like this. You're still going to see little runs up like this, but they won't ever be long periods of time. I promise you that, because nobody's buying. It's complete manipulation. And so you'll see these runs up, but then very soon after you're going to see a dump. So that's what's going on in the bond market. Let's see. One final thing that I will talk about, and I'll do this briefly, I can even elaborate further tomorrow, but recently during this pump, we had EOS that really pumped harder and faster and more than most. EOS is one of the only altcoins that has surpassed its all-time high. Not too long ago, weeks ago, less than weeks ago, the price was like $5. It was less than $5 on, when was this? March 17th. So not too long ago, it was less than $5. On April 9th, so less than a month ago, it was $5.83, okay? Let's see where it was exactly a month ago. So a month ago today, the price was $6, $5.78, April 2nd. We're now at May 2nd, and you can see that it surpassed the all-time high. How come this is one of the coins that surpassed the all-time high, but none of the other ones have? A couple of reasons. One big reason is this coin is a very high speculation coin. What do I mean by that? There's no working product yet. EOS doesn't have it's a platform, kind of like Ethereum, but it's all conceptual. It's all stuff that they've published and talked about and said, here's what we're doing. Here's sneak peeks, but the product's not done. So this is all based on speculation. Anytime that speculation is involved, you're going to see bigger swings. You're going to see higher pumps. You're going to see sometimes faster dumps. Not always the case, because there's like a lot of money goes into speculation. All right. And so keep that in mind. If there's not a working product, and not all, EOS is one of the few, but there's definitely coins, and will continue to be coins that don't have working products. They're products yet. They're concepts. Just know that those are speculation projects, because they're saying here's what instead of saying here's our data from what we've done over the last year or 6 months or 3 months or whatever, they're saying here's our plan and what we plan on doing going forward. A plan and actual data is very different. So if you're betting on those type of projects, that's speculation. There's a lot more risk involved. However, bigger swings, a lot bigger. When they start executing the plan and pulling off the moves, more speculators jump in with even more money because they want to get a piece, right? They're saying, okay, EOS is coming to life. They're doing what they said they're going to do. they're still not fully live yet. There's still only a step or two, so more money goes in. So that's what you see happening with these big pumps on these speculation type coins. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. We can go deeper in that another time. I'm going to wrap this call for today. Curious to see how long this this stream has went. I got started a little bit late, so I can't really judge that by the time. So that is all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to join us in the Facebook group, drop the link or click the link in the description. Come join us in the group. If you got value from this, hit the like button, hit the share button, leave me a comment, regardless of where you're watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.